Hello, my darlings. I hope everyone had a gorgeous week. Welcome back to another episode of Witch Weekly with yours truly, Lauren Ann of Lauren Ann Alchemy, in case you didn't know. In case you're tuning in for the very first time, hi, welcome. I don't think I've done an introduction of myself on these videos since I switched. So I have been a witch my whole life. I came out of the broom closet a few years ago. I started doing live streams over the 2020 pandemic quarantine and doing some Astro Alchemy, some tarot guidance, and crystal corner healing for everyone to support you through these wild and weird times. And it has evolved. I studied astrology through Kepler College. I'm self-taught tarot reader. I'm an intuitive. I'm a certified crystal healer, an energy worker. And I love bringing these weekly updates to you, for you, to support you, and to keep you in the loop of what's going on in the stars, what's going on in the spiritual realms, and to just hang and share some intuitive flashes and crystal knowledge and all that marvelous magic. I'm gonna take a little sip of my Oktoberfest beer. Speaking of, we're in the last week of October. It really fucking came and went so fast. Before I knew it, I had my little counter. It has a little witch on it, and she has the how many days until Halloween on there. And I feel as though I was like, oh, I'm going to put at 31 because it's like 45 days until Halloween. Now I'm into like single digits. Don't like it. But having said that, this coming Saturday, October 31st, is Samhain, Halloween. So I wanted to come in here and chat a little bit about the holiday. And also, it is our second full moon of the season, of the month. Second full moon of the month, which is considered a blue moon when there are two full moons in 1 month. It's a full moon in Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Taurus is all about luscious and love and the things that we value. I've talked before, and I'm not sure. I've talked before, and I'm sure some of you are aware. This time of the year, the veil between worlds is incredibly thin, the thinnest. Therefore, ghostly activity is at its peak. So, if you notice anything heightened or happening or feeling, just go with it, just be with it, just thank whoever, whatever it is. We can find connections with those who have passed, or maybe we are just a bit more in tune with the energies that are circulating around us. Samhain is the witch's new year. It's a Gaelic word for summer's end. It is the third and final harvest, and it is what traditionally marks the beginning of winter. I know that's a little sad too. It's also the fourth fire festival, where a community would get together and ignite a bonfire to purify. What are you growling at? Maybe Zoe sees a ghost. I swear she growls at one of the corners in our apartment. I live in a really old building. So a community would get together to purify their surroundings and burn up anything that they didn't need or didn't serve them anymore, and kind of getting ready for the new year and purging for the winter months. It's also said that the dancing flames kept away wandering spirits while simultaneously illuminating the paths for their ancestors to join them. This time of year is about honoring our ancestors and those who have passed. We witches will place pictures and offerings on our altars to our loved ones who have died, but you don't have to be a witch to do this. just take out some pictures and objects of your deceased relatives and friends and put them out somewhere that you can see them, or just speak to them, to the pictures or to them. They're listening. And do something that they would have enjoyed. You can choose to honor them in any way that you want. You can also do what is called a dumb supper, where you would place have a place setting for that relative, loved one, friend, whomever it is, at your table for them, as if they would be joining you. So I usually leave out something to drink for my dad, whether it's a Miller High Life or a shot of tequila for my one friend who passed. So just little things like that. Anything that speaks to you, you can do to honor them in any way. There is also, as I said, a full moon in Taurus. And this full moon in Taurus is all about the unusual, with Uranus being in an exact conjunction. So Uranus has been in Taurus and will be in Taurus for quite a while. And Uranus is that planet of innovation, of invention, of the wild and the weird, of the unpredictable. It's a potent time to come face to face with something we may have been avoiding deep down. We'll have to confront our truths on this full moon, on this Samhain Halloween weekend. No matter how gross and icky they are to face, I always say that, gross and icky, it's not mine, but it just comes out sometimes. It's a little quote that Christian Slater says in Heathers, which is one of my favorite movies. He talks about your emotions or your feelings that are too gross and icky to face, and it just comes out of my mouth. But yeah, or dark or intense, whatever they may be, we're going to be coming face to face with them. We have retrogrades happening, Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde. The song is my tune, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Any of you who know me might know that this might have been a karaoke tune of mine. So yes, I have the Craft soundtrack on for anyone who's paying attention. I had my boyfriend watch it for the first time the other day, and I'm having him watch lots of classic Halloween Samhain time movies that he's never seen before. It's really amazing to share it with him. Anyway, I'm way off topic, but I don't really care because this is my show, so I can talk about whatever I want. So these intense feelings, we're in a retrograde season right now with Mars and Mercury and the thinning of the veil and Scorpio season and this full moon in Taurus. I mean, there's just lots of things that are digging up and just, we've got our nails in the dirt essentially, and it's all caked under our fingers, and digging it out is going to take a little bit of effort. But anything worth doing does. And healing is hard work. It's not easy. And it's, falling back into old habits or worn out patterns is honestly not an option right now. It may feel comfortable to do those things, like, I'll get it later, or I'll do that later, or, yeah, I know, but I'll work on it another time. It's just, it's just going to keep coming around and coming around and coming around. So why not face it head on with confidence, with charisma, with trust, and, faith, essentially. While sometimes it feels comfortable to fall back into our old ways of being, it provides zero growth and absolutely no resolve to do that. Saturday can be a serious fucking night for aha moments and rapid fire change. Your emotions probably have been and probably will be and maybe all over the damn place. But I promise you, you can come out the other side stronger, bolder, and way more badass if you do the work. And it's so gratifying. So while it is a luscious and fruitful and voluptuous full moon, and I really, 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 really hope it's a clear night. I know we're supposed to get some rain this week, but I hope it's clear and crisp and cool. I am gonna make my way and bring my ass up to that beach that is a few blocks from me, and I'm gonna bask in it and do a beach ritual. And I hope that you can do something similar, even if you're not near a beach, or if you can just get outside, or just look, if it's cold where you are, or you can't, I hope we can all see her, and we can at least, look out the window and say a few words, have a little ritual. Honor the cycles of life, of death, of rebirth, of rejuvenation, of reinvention. So, let's pull a few cards and see what kind of work we can be doing. Then I will highlight a few crystals you can work with to help facilitate that. I have a few this week. And I, was digging around doing some research on what crystals would be great for Samhain, for Halloween. And, I pull from all different kinds of resources, my own intuition, what my guides tell me, from books I have, from internet searches. Yes, I do that too. And a lot of the crystals that were coming up, I've already highlighted. So I said, I'm never going to run out of crystals, but I may run out of crystals that I actually have. So I'm like, I guess I have to buy more. But there's one, if I did it on a show, it was way back on a live stream on Instagram, and I don't remember ever using it, which is wild because I love it so much. But maybe I did. I don't care. I'm going to do it again. And anyway, so let's put my notes aside. And I'm going to use the Rider-Waite Centennial deck. And we're going to pull a couple of cards. We're going to do a card of what type of work the full moon and Samhain will bring for us. The second card being, how can we grow from this? Like, what kind of work is it going to be? How can we grow with it? And then a message from our ancestors. We'll see what they're trying to say to us right now. I'm feeling a little ebb and flow of the energy right now. The Band-Aid on my thumb, and there it goes. I don't know if that got caught on camera. I hope it did. I have a nail that is split halfway down, and every time I go to do something, I feel it's gonna pop right off, so I put a Band-Aid on it. But I'm washing dishes, doing all kinds of shit, so it gets saturated, the Band-Aid, so it popped right off. Oh well. Let's do another little shuffle. I love this deck, but it's just not an easy deck to shuffle. Marvelous on time. Might pull a bonus card from one of the other decks that I wanted to use. Oh, wow. I need a sip for this. So, we're working with our mind. We're working with our mind. We're feeling with our senses. We're feeling with our guts, our passions. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the King of Wands. And we've got the Queen of Wands. I mean, what better card? I mean, there's a couple of them, but there's not a lot of better cards to come up for a Samhain spread than the Queen of Wands. She's essentially, to me, the witch of the tarot. And that's the message from our ancestors. I mean, I'm going to quote Practical Magic, there's a little witch in all of us. There really is. There's magic in all of us. We all have so much access to our intuition, our gifts, our manipulation of energy, of our experience, of our environment, and we give it away a lot of the time. So to me, this message from the ancestors, from our spirit team, is that of taking back the power, doing the work, being a badass witch, and settling in that. And, you know, looking at things in a different way, rather than maybe succumbing to peer pressure or bending. Maybe you stand up for yourself a little bit more, a little bit stronger, a little bit harder. Maybe you, what do we say? What's coming through? Maybe we wield I just have this sort of image of a conductor, of being in control, of commanding the room, of, you know, a craftsman, a craftswoman, just breathing and embracing, like, strength and power, you know, being unapologetic about who you are. Broken pieces, fragmented, damaged, whole, whatever. Just coming as you are and saying, this is who I am, this is how I am. Come take me or leave me. And just owning it. That's the word I'm getting, owning it, right? So the type of work that we're going to be doing with this full moon is the Ace of Swords. I mean, the Ace of Swords, what did I just say before? It's that aha fucking moment. So you may have this sense, this like intense moment of clarity. You could wake up Saturday and that house goes on the market. This is how I'm gonna redo my schedule. This is how I'm going to craft my plan. This is how I'm going to approach this situation, have this conversation. This is how I put my finances back in order. And the Ace of the Swords are all about communication. It's the sign, it's the element of air, of that like invention, of that just thought form. And you know, thoughts become things. So once you start to think something, I'm gonna have another drink because apparently I can't speak right now. Thoughts become things. Once you have that thought, that concept, once you start to conceptualize something, once you start to believe it, once you start to feel it, that's when it takes shape and form. So I want you to write this weekend. Even if you don't ever write, I want you to write. I want you to write a list. I want you to make a plan. I want you to put it down into words, and I want you to speak it out loud to the full moon how you want to go forward, how you want to start off the next phase, how you want to go into this dark moon phase of the year, essentially, as we shift into late autumn and into winter. It's an introspective, it's an internal reflection time. And then how we grow, how we bring this forward is the King of Wands. I mean, while the Queen is wanting you to own your power, like the King of Wands is all loaded with charisma. He's loaded with passion. He's loaded with presence. He, can bring that project. He can bring that endeavor, that passion into full fruition. So, full steam fucking ahead, kids. I love it. And, the suit of wands is ignition. That's all I have to say about it. Let's talk about some crystals. Ooh, shaky shakes. I need another good tune. There we go. All right, so like I said, I wanted to pick out 3 crystals. I'm having a rough time with words today. I wanted to pick out 3 crystals for Samhain and Halloween. And my first one on the list. This is actually one of the first crystals I have ever bought. It is a very strengthening and stabilizing crystal. It is also said to refresh the soul. And, as we come into Samhain, Halloween, All Souls Day, All Saints Day, this deep spiritual connection, what better than some moss agate? So I have this babe right here. It's green and white, the agate family. I also have moss agate plugs I put in not too long ago. And I noticed a real shift in my energy and my environment and changes ever since I put them in. I knew I put them in for a reason. It's a stone of abundance and attracting wealth and prosperity. This quote I found in my Crystal Bible book. It helps intellectual people access their intuitive feelings and conversely assists intuitive people in channeling their energy in practical ways. I couldn't have said it better myself. This crystal just makes me feel so grounded, yet so divinely connected, if that makes sense. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? Much like the Magician card, where he has his hand pointing down and his hand up. So it's this groundedness, feet in the earth, feeling the grass, and then having that connection to the divine, to your higher self. It gives insight and balances emotions, strengthens positivity, and promotes self-expression. This is also a stone of new beginnings. Green is really good, like I said, for abundance and prosperity, and I also associate it with when you're attracting an abundance and prosperity, new beginnings. It's also another reason why I chose it for this full moon in Taurus and for the season, because it is, as I said, it is the Witch's New Year. So we're shifting in, most people do New Year's resolutions in January. I have a couple of different things I do. I do a lot around Samhain. I do a little bit around January 1st, but not really. I wait until my birthday, which is January 19th, because for me, that's my solar return. That's another year for me in this physical existence. So to me, that's a new year for me. So Samhain is my spiritual, my witch's new year. And then January 19th is kind of my physical new year. So I do two. Why can't I have both? So that's moss agate. It's affordable, accessible, marvelous. You should get some. I only have this little piece and my plugs. I keep saying this every week, all these different crystals I keep pulling out. I'm like, I don't have bigger pieces. I don't have enough. Ryan's gonna be overcome with crystals. I'm going to need a room just for them. Oh well. So, the next babe on the list, every energy worker, every empath, every healer needs this. Actually, scratch that. Everyone needs this in their home and in their existence. And it is, of course, black tourmaline. I really don't think I did an episode on black tourmaline, but I'm surprised because I'm obsessed with it. So this is a raw chunk that's in my room, in our room, and on my altar. And then this is my tumbled piece, which I have never seen a shape or a tumbled piece like this before, and I'm obsessed with it. I keep some above the doorways of our bedroom, of the bathroom, of the bedroom and of the front door. I'm gonna have some water. I have pieces on my altar, and I also never, ever, ever, ever leave home without this piece. It's in my little crystal bag and in my pocket. It cleanses, purifies, detoxifies, and transforms dense energy into a higher vibration. It clears and balances all chakras. I'm going to turn this down a tiny bit. And like I said, it clears and balances all chakras. And it can remove blockages and disperse negative energies. It is also potent in protecting against psychic energetic attacks. Enough said. It protects you. It protects your home. It protects your energy. Don't leave home without it. I don't. Black tourmaline's amazing. It's calming. It's soothing. It's grounding. It's just everything. It's just... If you can get a really nice polished piece like this to keep with you, that's awesome, because the raw pieces of black tourmaline are great, but they'll like shatter off all over the place, and then you'll have it in your bags and your pockets and everywhere, and it's just not fun. So the raw pieces are great for in the home, and the tumbled polished pieces are great to keep on your person. Right, my third and final crystal for the night, because I could not pick just one, and I picked three. I'm all about threes. Triple goddess. I'm one of three girls. I love the number 3, is red jasper. Jasper, in general, is known as the supreme, not the supreme like the witch from Coven, but the supreme nurturer. The stone is incredible during times of stress and uncertainty. It brings wholeness and peace. It is a stone of tranquility. It is another stone that aligns and balances all of the chakras and all of the energy centers in the body. It is super important this time of year and really potent because of that intense connection with our spiritual side, to keep your body balanced, to keep yourself realigned, to keep yourself connected. You don't want to keep going off and doing all of this etheric, spiritual, energetic work and not come back down into your body. You don't want to float off into the ethers. So it's good to keep this grounded connection to kind of bring you back. It's like a port key. No, a port key brings you other places. I don't know, whatever. It brings courage and stimulates the imagination, which is awesome during this time of year. It detoxifies your circulatory system and also can help with dream recall. So keeping it next to your bed or popping it under your pillow is cool. You know, if you get any visits in your dreams by relatives or friends, a lot of times the spirits will want to connect with us that way if they don't connect IRL in real time. Then they will connect in your dreams. So keep some red jasper by your bed. And keep your dream journal there so you can record what happens and who pops on by. And that's all I have this week. I am so grateful to be here. I'm so happy for all of you to join me every week. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're doing. Give me some feedback, some comments below, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or however, wherever. Stay tuned. I'm going to start a YouTube series separately from the Witch Weekly. You can always find me on my website, laurenannalchemy.com. I haven't been as active on Instagram. There's just lots of things going on. I've got some events coming up, and I'm going to start doing some incredible stuff for November, December. And connect with me on all of the social media platforms with Lauren Ann Alchemy being my handle. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy this last week in October. I hope you have the most blessed Samhain and happy Halloween. Eat all the candy, watch all the movies, carve all the pumpkins, hang out with all your dead relatives, because it's what you should do. It's what I'm gonna do. And I will be back next week. I'm not sure if it'll be Sunday, Monday. I'll just surprise you and say, hey, here's a new video. Go check it out. Stay wild, stay weird, my darlings, and I will see you next time.